词理解吗？照做。我有一个要求，然后我告诉给大家了，大家照做了。
You can say 您好。
您好，您好。
有多少手机？
第一个手机。
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear me clearly? So if you can hear me, you can type something in the chatting box. Good afternoon. This is Angela from Beijing Language and Culture University. 你们好。下午好。Good afternoon. Okay, so seems you can hear me clearly, right? 你好。This is Angela. I'm from Beijing. I'm here at my house today. It's raining right now in Beijing. So, where are you from? And yeah, what time is it at your place? Hi. Okay, can hear me. 你好，你们好。So you can type something if you can hear me, or you can just introduce yourself. Where are you from and what time is it at your place? It's 5 p.m. right now, so we are going to start. Oh, 我们这里，你那里也下雨, okay. Those are raining at your place. So it's raining quite heavy outside now in Beijing. 俄罗斯，欢迎你。Nepal, okay. Pakistan, 欢迎。科尼亚 Thailand, okay. Thank you. 俄罗斯 Russia, Pakistan, 格鲁吉亚，你好，欢迎。South Africa, okay. Welcome. Sri Lanka, okay. Welcome. 印度，在中国，好。你们好，你们好。All right, so then since you guys can hear me clearly, then let's start our class for today. So today our topic is to introduce HSK 3. The main continents for today, we have 4 main topics. First of all, I will introduce the overall of the HSK 3 test. And then I will introduce, break down HSK 3 to each question types. So I will introduce each question type of HSK 3 test. And also I will introduce a little bit about HSKK elementary, or you can say HSK 口语 speaking test. As we all know, since last year, if you need to take HSK 3 test, you also need to take HSKK 口语考试. Okay, and at last, I will introduce our Beijing Language and Culture University, or BLCU, online HSK course. Okay, so and on our screen here is the website for our HSK course. So if you are interested in learning Chinese online with us, you can take a look at this website later. Or if you have WeChat, you can scan the QR code on the screen here. We have a WeChat group, so you can scan the QR code and join the WeChat group to talk to us. And we will also share some information about learning Chinese in the chatting group later. All right, so let's go ahead to start our class. So the first topic I will introduce the HSK test itself. So since this is HSK3, I guess a lot of you already understand what is HSK, right? So HSK stands for 汉语水平考试, so Chinese proficiency test. So the test like originally founded from our university, Beijing Language and Culture University. And at the beginning, the Chinese proficiency test or 汉语水平考试 was divided into 3 stages and 11 levels. And it was very difficult for beginners before. And after 2009, it was changed to the 6 levels that we are now very familiar with. And starting from 2022, the HSK levels, they added HSK 7 to 9 on top of HSK 1 to 6, which make it a 9 levels test right now. But HSK 1 to 6 still the most common levels for Chinese learners to take. So some students ask me this question a lot, so I will explain that a little bit. So what Chinese level do I need to reach since I'm learning Chinese right now? So it depends on like what do you do for like using the Chinese language. For example, if you want to use the language for daily life, actually, if you're living in China, like in Beijing, in Shanghai, in Guangzhou, in Shenzhen, in large cities, a lot of foreigners, they don't speak Chinese at all. They can still live in here. So English is enough. But if you live in China, live in the society, and you don't speak the language, you don't understand what people speak around you, that's really a pity. So usually I will say if you have a HSK3 or a plus, you can hold a daily conversation. So for life in China, to have a HSK3 is enough. And if you want to study or work in China, for example, if you want to apply for a Chinese government or university scholarships, you want to apply for a university, sometimes they will need a HSK 4 plus when you apply for the scholarship. And also, if you want to work with Chinese language, like for the work usage, you need a HSK 5 or 6 at least to use the language fluently at workplace. Also, some students want to be expert of Chinese language, like you want to study Chinese language as your major. You are professionals that involved in academic researches, economy, culture, technology, anything. You want to read those articles, academic articles in Chinese, then you need a HSK 7 to 9, which means if you don't need a professional usage, like studying the Chinese language, like read some professional academic researches, if you don't have that need for daily usage, for work usage, for study usage, usually HSK 1 to 6 is enough. So here goes the requirements from HSK 1 to HSK 7 to 9. So for HSK 1 to 6, each HSK, there is one test paper. And for HSK 7 to 9, they will use one test paper for the whole 3 levels. Depends on your final score. They will give you 7, 8, or 9. Okay, so here goes the requirements of words and characters and a little bit of descriptions. You can take a picture here. I won't explain it a lot right now. Okay, and also for HSKK or speaking test, here goes the requirements. For HSK1 and HSK2, you don't need to do HSKK. You don't need to do the speaking test. But starting from HSK3, you need to do HSKK or speaking test. So speaking test, they have 3 levels, primary, intermediate, advanced, 初级, 中级, 和高级. So if you want to take HSK3, you need to take HSKK primary or 初级 at the same time. Usually, like if you take HSK3 in the morning, then in the afternoon you will have the HSKK or speaking test. And if you want to take HSK4, then at the same time you need to take HSKK intermediate, 中级. Also, if you want to take HSK 5 and 6, that means at the same time you need to take HSKK advanced, 高级, for speaking test. Okay, so today our topic is about HSK 3 and HSKK primary. Okay, so for HSK 3, oh, I'm sorry, this should be HSK 3. So the test taker of HSK 3, you need to master 600 commonly used words and related knowledge of grammar. And the HSK 3, I'm sorry, my mistake. For the written test of HSK 3, they have 3 parts. I'm sorry, it's still wrong. So they have 3 parts: listening, reading, and writing. And there are 80 questions altogether. And at the same time, you need to also take the HSKK primary speaking test. So the speaking test will have 27 questions, which needs about 20 minutes to take it. Okay. So I will start with the HSK or the written test first. So here goes the 3 parts: listening, reading, and writing. So those are the numbers of questions and the minutes that they will give you. So the listening part is about 35 minutes, and you have 5 minutes to finish the listening part, and they will start the reading and writing part. Reading part have 30 minutes, written part have 15 minutes, and altogether is about 85 minutes. Pay attention. If you took HSK 1 and 2 before, you may notice for HSK 1 and 2, they all have pinyin in the test paper. But starting from HSK 3, all of the questions in the test are in Chinese character. They won't give you pinyin for the test paper. So for HSK 3, Chinese character is really important. And so for the 3 parts, listening, reading, and writing, each part have 100 points. So altogether, 300 points. And I'm sorry, this should be wrong. So now 180 score or above qualified as a passing mark. And the HSK course are valid for 2 years, starting from the date of the exam. Okay, so that's the overall introduction for HSK 3. And then I will start from the listening part to introduce each question type of the HSK test. So you guys can type anything if you want to ask any question. You can type in the chatting box. So I will answer you later at the end of the course, because we have a lot of students, I think 60 more students in the classroom right now, so we don't have chance for you to speak in class. So you can just leave your message if you need to ask any question. All right, then I will start from a listening part. Listening part, here we got 4 parts of listening and 10 questions for each part. And each question will play twice. So we will start from part 1. That is listen and select the corresponding picture. So here goes an example of the test paper. Altogether have 10 questions, 10 pictures, actually 11 pictures with one more for example. So they will read in the recording, they will read a conversation, and you need to find out the correct picture from the choices according to the recording. And the recording will play twice for each question. So let's take a look at how to do it. Like, are there any tips for this part? So for this part, when you get your test paper, they will play the recording, and the recording will introduce you how to do this part, and they will read an example. If you attend for today's class, you already know how to do this, so you don't need to listen to the example. But at the same time, you can quickly go through the pictures and find out the key information of the pictures, such as like characters, activities, what objects in it, numbers, time, or place. Find out the key information of the picture. So let's take a look. In those pictures, what key information here? For A, what was that in the picture? You can type. For A, what's that in the picture? Fruits, 水果, 对. And for B, what is that? Headache, headache, 生病了, 头疼, 生病了. C was that? 看书, homework, study, 学习. Okay, so D, what they are doing? No, shopping, yes, shopping. And last one, E, 买衣服, right? D is 买衣服. And last one, a bag and clothes. Where is it? In a chair, right? So A, we have 香蕉 or 水果. B, we have 头疼, headache, or 发烧, have a fever. And C, maybe 学习, maybe 看书. Okay, D is 衬衫 and 试穿 try on, or shopping, 买衣服. So E is 蓝色 blue one, 包 handbag, 椅子上 on the chair. Okay, so then next, you will listen to the recording. And if you can find out those key information in the recording, then that dialogue will match that picture. So let's try together to listen to the recording.
现在开始第6到10题。6.
这件衬衫怎么样？
看起来比刚才那件好，你去试试吧。6.
这件衬衫怎么样？
看起来比刚才那件好，你去试试吧。
Okay, so number 6, Leo, what is the answer? Yes. So they mention Chen Shan, right? They mention Chen Shan. So should be D. Okay. Yeah, it's easy, right? And then let's try one more.
一，这个季节吃什么水果好？
香蕉、苹果什么的都不错。
七，这个季节吃什么水果好？
香蕉、苹果什么的都不错。
现在
Okay.
开始第
What is it, the answer? Right. They mentioned 水果,香蕉,苹果. So must be A. Right. So you can see if you can recognize those objects and you can find out the key information in the picture. And while you listen to the recording, you just like find out if you have the key information in the dialogue. You don't have to understand the whole recording or whole conversation they are talking to. You can just grasp those key information. Oh, they have 水果, so must be A. Oh, they have buying something like Chen Shan, a shirt. So yeah, definitely is D. So that's the tip for this part. All right, so we don't have time to finish all of them. Let's just move on. To listening part 2. Listening part 2 is a true or false. So each question in this section is based on a passage or a sentence according to which you need to judge whether the given statement, like this one, like the sentence with a star, the given sentence is true or false according to the previous sentence or small paragraph. So if it's a match, if it's correct, you put a tick here. It is a false. You put a cross here. Okay, so let's have a try. So this time I will read. I will read a sentence, and you can type the answer. It's true or false. So for this part, it's also very important to grasp the key words, because this statement sentence is on your test paper. You can read it first. For example, this one. 他希望自己很健康. So the key word should be 很健康, very healthy, right? The second sentence, 他这个周末去看电影. So might be about the time. 这个周末, weekend, what they do, 看电影, to watch a movie. Okay, so later when you hear the question, you just find out if you can like get those keywords in the recording. Okay, I will start to read. First one. 为了让自己更健康，他每天都花1个小时去锻炼身体。他希望自己很健康。Okay, second time. 为了让自己更健康，他每天都花1个小时去锻炼身体。他希望自己很健康。Okay, can type your answer, true or false? Yeah, okay. 对的, 对的. Okay, second one. Let's try, listen to me. 这个周末有个重要的会议，所以不能和你一起去看那个电影了。对不起，下周怎么样？ Okay. 他这个周末去看电影。True or false? Okay, I will read the sentence again. 这个周末有个重要的会议，所以不能和你一起去看那个电影了。对不起，下周怎么样？他这个周末去看电影。True or false? 不对。Okay, so let's take a look together. 好。So just now we read the sentence, the answer sentence, like the keyword is 很健康. So in the question sentence, they have 为了让自己更健康. So in order to let himself be more healthy, so 他每天花1个小时去锻炼身体. So it's match. Okay, the second one, 这个周末 this weekend, keyword 去看电影 go and watch a movie. Let's take a look at the question sentence. 这个周末 okay, what to do? 有个重要的会议 so have an important meeting. 不能和你一起去看那个电影 so cannot watch that movie. So is a false. Okay, so then also very important, you just grasp the keywords in the sentence, and while you're listening, you can like catch up the keywords in the recording, and then you can make your answer now. Okay, and also it's very important to pay attention to the adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions. Like 虽然但是为了不但还而且因为所以也都特别如果除了根据关于 those words are very important. Usually the sentence with those words are related to the answer. Okay, so that's the listening part 2, true and false. Then listening part 3 and 4, those are multiple choices. So for part 3, it's a short dialogue. You listen to the short dialogue and then choose the correct answer according to the question. And part 4, they have longer conversation, and also you need to choose the correct answer from A, B, and C according to the question. Okay, so let's take a look at the example. Part 3 is the short conversation. So again, you need to read the options first. Like before they play the recording for this part, you have a few seconds to go through the options first. So you can predict what question they will ask before they play the recording. And also like when you like have a keywords or you understand what they may ask in that question, while you're listening, you just find out the keywords in the recording, and then you can choose the correct answer. And sometimes there are like numbers, time, some important place, name. You can like make some notes on the test paper in case you forgot it. Okay, and also you need to understand the purpose and attitude of the speaker too. Let's take a look at these examples, 2 examples. So 21, you can try predict what kind of question the recording will ask according to the 3 options. Years old. Okay. So 年级 is grade, like which year of school is 年级. So maybe asking about what grade, which year of school the students is in. Second one, 洗澡, 踢足球, 开空调. So you can predict what kind of question they will ask for 22. 他们可能问什么问题呢？洗澡、踢足球、开空调。So those are all actions. So maybe the question is about what is doing, what is going to do, like asking about the actions to do. 对，做什么。All right, now let's listen to the recording and you can type your answer in the chatting.
现在开始第21题。21，
马老师，您今年教几年级？
还是3年级，跟去年一样。
马老师去年教几年级？21，
马老师，您今年教几年级？
还是3年级，跟去年一样。
马老师去年教几年级？
Okay, what is your answer for 21? 3年级. Okay, so there's a tricky question. 马老师 says, 我教3年级跟去年一样. So this year I'm teaching the 3rd grade, the same as last year. 去年跟去年一样. And the question is asking, 马老师去年教几年级? What grade did 马老师 teach for last year? 去年. But it's the same, still 3年级. So C is the correct answer. Okay, so then let's continue for 22. Hmm?
22，
外面太热了，我要去洗个澡。
快去吧，这么热的天，你就不该出去打篮球。
男的准备做什么？22，
外面太热了，我要去洗个澡。
快去吧，这么热的天，你就不该出去打篮球。
男的准备做什么？
Okay, you can type your answer. I saw someone say A and someone say B. Should be A. 洗澡. So the sentence is 外面太热了. It's hot outside. 我要去洗个澡. So, and the other girl is saying like, 这么热的天，你就不应该去打篮球. So they don't mention 踢足球, they don't mention 开空调. to just mention A, 洗个澡, have a bath. So should be A is the correct answer. Okay, so you guys doing it very good. Let's try the last part of listening. It's still multiple choices, but for this part, they will play a longer conversation, usually maybe 4 or 5 sentences between two people. And then they will ask a question, and you need to choose the correct answer according to the question and the conversation. Okay, so for this part, usually questions are designed based on the second or the last sentence, usually. So you need to pay attention to it. And let's take a look at the options first. Number 32. A is 加班, B is 去沈阳, C is 接同学. So you can predict what kind of question they will ask. So 加班 is what? 加班 is work overtime. 去沈阳, go to Shenyang is a city. 接同学 to pick up classmate. So the question might be asking 打算做什么 what to do. Or someone asks 什么意思去沈阳 Shenyang is a city, name of a city. So 去沈阳 so go to Shenyang. Okay, now let's listen to the recording.
32.
吴阿姨，小明哥回来了吗？
还没有呢，他打电话回来说，今天晚点回来。
小明哥今天又加班了，他真忙。
不是，他大学同学来沈阳，他去机场接他了。
小明今晚做什么？32.
吴阿姨，小明哥回来了吗？
还没有呢，他打电话回来说，今天晚点回来。
小明哥今天又加班了，他真忙。
不是，他大学同学来沈阳，他去机场接他了。
小明今晚做什么？
Okay. Oh, you're all correct. Yeah. So the answer is C, 接同学. Let's take a look at the dialogue. It's like a 4 sentences dialogue. The boy is asking, 吴阿姨，小明哥回来了吗? This is usually not the very important sentence. Very important sentence usually in the answering part. 还没有呢，他打电话回来说今天晚点回来。Okay, so 晚点 maybe a little bit late, 但是 it doesn't relate to our options. So let's continue. Question sentence. 小明哥今天又加班了，他真忙。Is it 加班? And the answer is important. 不是 so not A. 他大学同学来沈阳 so not 去。他去机场接他了 so 接同学。Okay, so again, let's go back. When you take a look at the options, you can predict what kind of question they are going to ask later. And while you are hearing the sentence, pay attention to the keywords, the options, which one matches the option. And then you can choose the answer. And usually the important sentence are the answering sentence, which means the second or the last. Okay, so that's the listening part. So let's go back here. 4 parts. Each question played twice. Number 1 is picture. Number 2 is true or false. Number 3 and 4 is multiple choices. Okay, so each question is played twice. Very important to catch up the keywords for this part. Find out the keywords. And also, when you get the test paper, quickly go through the thing on the test paper, like before they play the recording, so you can predict what they will ask later. And while you are hearing it, you can find out the key information in the recording matches the answer. Okay, so that's the listening part, and let's continue for reading part. Okay, and one more time. If you just come into the classroom, this is Beijing Language and Culture University, and we are the online education department of BLCU. And today our topic is HSK3 test. So I'm going to introduce HSK3 test and all of the question types in HSK3. And here goes our website, www.eblcu.com/HSK. If you're interested in taking our online HSK course, you can take a look at this website later. And here goes my email, and this is my WeChat QR code. You can contact me if you want to study Chinese online with our BLCU teachers. And also we have WeChat group for learning Chinese. So we will share some information about studying Chinese, about online Chinese courses. If you're interested, you can scan the QR code here to join our WeChat group. So we will have more upcoming online classes, free classes, and also the information for register for our real Chinese online course. Okay, so let's continue for second part of HSK3, which is reading. For reading, they have 3 types of question, and each question each type have 10 questions, so altogether 30 questions. So number 1 is matching, like sentence matching. So I have 10 questions in 2 groups. Each group, they will have 5 pairs of sentences. So you need to match them together. The 2 sentences may be question and answer, maybe 2 sentences that related to each other. So you need to find out those in pairs. So for example, here, 你知道怎么去那儿吗? This is the question. And then you need to find out the answer is E here. 当然，我们先坐公共汽车，然后换地铁。So question and answer, this is a pair. Maybe it's a question and answer. Maybe it's like a 2 sentences that related to each other. And also, here goes the number and here goes the options. The question sentence might be in the question part, might be in the option parts. So maybe here is the question, here is the answer. Maybe here is the answer and you need to find the questions. So it's not in the correct order for question and answer. So you just need to match them together. Okay, so let's take a look at how to do this part. So first, you need to read the sentences first, and grasp the key word or the key meaning of the sentence. And then you can find the content that are related to it. So let's take a look at those examples, those options first. First sentence, 这个面包好吃极了. 你在哪儿买的? So what's the key meaning of this part? It's mentioned bread, 面包, and it's a question about where, 在哪儿买的, right? Okay, and then continue. B, 最近天气变化大，早晚很冷，别穿裙子了. So what's the key meaning for B? It's like talking about weather is cold, 很冷, and then to wear something, 穿裙子, to wear something. Okay, and C, let's take a look. 知道了，你也小心点儿. What's the topic in this sentence? To be careful, right? 小心点儿. Okay, D, 你看几百年前的一个盘子，一个花瓶就要卖几千万. What the key meaning of this part? 几千万, so it's very expensive. 卖几千万, expensive things. Okay, last one. 公司新来的同事叫什么名字? What's the topic of this part? Asking about name, right? Name. So right now we get the key meaning for the sentences. Now let's find the answer, like to match those topics. Okay, first one, number 46. 好，那我去换条裤子. So what topic here? This, right? 裤子 is something to wear. So should be B for this. 47. 是啊，现在越旧的东西越不便宜. You don't need to answer you don't need to understand the whole sentence. This sentence is talking about expensive, right? So 不便宜 should be D. Yeah, then you can like follow this to finish the rest part. Okay, so get an idea, the key idea of the sentence, then you can match the two. So if you don't understand some words in the sentence, it's all right. You just need to understand the overall meaning of the key meaning or words in the sentence. Then you can like find the corresponding one. Okay, so that's reading part 1 to match sentences. Let's continue for next part. Reading part 2 is blank filling. So there will be some options. They have 2 groups, 10 questions in total. So they will give you 5 options, actually 6 options with 1 is the example. And you need to fill in the blanks, choosing the correct answer to fill in the blanks. For this part, the 2 groups, first group, they have only 1 sentence, and the second group is a conversation, 2 sentences. So for this part, it's still very important to find out the key words in the questions, especially in the word before or after the blank. So that is like very important and directly related to the answer. Also, you need to pay attention to the basic grammar and word order in Chinese. If you have a basic idea of the word order in Chinese, it's easy for you to choose for this part. And then after you finish your choices, finish all the 5 choices of one group, you need to go back and read the whole sentence again to check if the sentence is reasonable, if the sentence goes smoothly. Then you can continue for the next group. Okay, so let's take a look at here. E is the example. So you can take a look at the rest 5. What's the meaning? A 回答. Okay. To answer, I short. C 最后 finally. D 经常 often. And F is 跟 preposition to or with. Okay, so let's see. Number 51. 我过去 something 带我家小狗到这个公园玩 which is the answer. 51. 51 is, yes, D is the correct answer. Why D is the correct answer? Let's take a look later. And continue. Next one. 52. 树下的草因为见不到太阳，长得比较 something. Pay attention to the word next to the blank. Yes, it should be B. 比较矮. Okay, next one, 53. 我走得太急，都没能 something. 大家说声再见。Something 大家说。Yes, should be F. 跟大家说。So here goes the grammar here. 经常带我家小狗. So带 is a verb. So usually before it, you can put an adverb. So 经常 often take my dog to the park. 经常. Okay, this one, you don't need to read the first part. You just need to read this part. 长得比较 something. Okay, so it's a description. 比较 is a degree adverb, relatively. After it should be adjective. So the only adjective is here, short. Relatively short. 比较矮, so it's B. Okay, next one, 53. This is easy. Just 跟大家说, 跟 somebody do something. So it should be F. So it's very important for the basic grammar and word order in Chinese. So yeah, you need to study the grammar when you're preparing for the HSK 3. Okay, so last part is like reading and comprehension. So for this question type, they will have a sentence or a small paragraph, and then they will have a question, and you need to choose the correct answer from A, B, and C according to this given sentence and the question. Okay. For this part, the tips are here. You need to look at the question and the options first, because the reading sentence or paragraph is relatively longer than that. So you can start from the easier part from the question and options first. So you can grasp the key words and key meaning of this part. And you can go back to the text, to the paragraph, and like to underline or to find out the key thing in the option or the questions. If they have something matches the option, oh, that should be the correct answer. Okay, so let's try. For 62, let's read the question and the options first. 那个比赛可以让外国人 So that competition could let foreign people something. 提高汉语水平 to improve your Chinese level. B. 了解中国文化 to understand Chinese culture. C. 对汉字感兴趣 be interested in Chinese characters. So 外国人 and then 3 options. Okay, then let's go back to this description. 这个比赛可以帮助世界上其他国家的人更好地认识和了解中国文化，让中国文化走出国门。So, what is your answer? Do you have your answer right now? Yeah, definitely B. They didn't mention Chinese characters. They didn't mention to improve Chinese level, right? They only mentioned Chinese culture, so must be B. Okay. 63. Again, let's start from the easy part, from the question. 他最近为什么没去锻炼? So why he didn't go for exercises? Reason A, 工作忙 busy at work. B, 生病了 sick. C, 不愿意去 doesn't willing to go. Okay, so now let's go back. Let's go back and read it. 最近工作忙 Can you choose right now? You don't need to read the rest, right? You don't need to read the rest, right? 一直没去锻炼。昨天下午跑步时，我只跑了400米就觉得很累。今天早上起床后，腿也特别疼。Yes, if you can catch up the keyword, then yeah, just 工作忙。They don't mention anything related to 病了 or 不愿意，没有。只有工作忙。Okay, so A. Seems very hard, but if you can understand the key things and go back to the little paragraph to find out the key things, then it's definitely not very hard for this part. All right, so that's the reading part. That's all for the reading part. And let's continue for the last part for HSK test is writing. Writing only have 2 parts. One is like make sentences with the given words. It's actually like giving the words a correct order to make a sentence. And number 2 is write the Chinese characters. So 2 parts. For each part, they will have 5 questions. See number 1. So they will have 5 sentences in wrong order. So you just need to order the sentence. You don't need add anything else. Just order it. Okay. So and you need to write the sentence in the correct order. Write down the whole sentence in the correct answer. Okay, so the tips for this part, firstly, you need to find the key, the main parts of the sentence, like who does what, or how is something, where is something. Just find the key part. And then, you determine the main parts, and you need to, you can understand the meaning of the sentence. Then you can add the rest words in your sentence. Okay, so for this part, also to understand the basic Chinese structures or some important Chinese structure like ba or bei sentence is very important. And also to understand the basic sentence order in Chinese language is also very important. Like usually where we put the time words, usually the place should be used before the verb. Like in Chinese, we say, 我早上吃饭。我早上在家吃饭。But in English, you will say, I have my breakfast in the morning at home. But in Chinese, we will say, I in the morning at home to have breakfast. So to understand the sentence order in Chinese, basic sentence order in Chinese is very important. And also some special sentence structures like ba sentence or bei sentence, you should understand them too. So let's take a look at here. 被姐姐面包吃了. Okay, what should be the sentence? This is the bei sentence, right? So bei sentence. I think some of you already typed the correct answer. Yes. So 面包 is bread. And the bei sentence is something, bei somebody, and then the verb. So for the sentence, you should answer is 面包被姐姐吃了. Something bei someone, and then the action verb. And then la usually after the verb, right? Okay, second, 鸟的真长，这只嘴, 只 is the measure word for birds, and then 嘴 is mouth. So this sentence should be like something plus the description. So the something is the 嘴, and description is 真长. So the whole sentence should be 这只鸟的嘴真长. Okay. All right. The main thing is the 嘴 and then description. 真长 whose 嘴 这只鸟的嘴. So this is the modifier to this. Okay, so that's the word order part. This is the sentence pattern that is very important for this part. So the general sentence pattern, subject, verb, object. Or some special sentence patterns for HSK3, 把, 被, a location, like verb, and then something. And then to compare sentence, like 比, 跟什么一样, 不一样. Those are very important sentence patterns for this test part. Okay, you can take a picture for this page. You can review it later. Okay, so then next part of writing part 2 is write the characters according to the pinyin. So here goes an example. You have a sentence and here goes a blank. and they will give you the pinyin for the blank, and you need to write down the Chinese characters here in the blank according to the pinyin and the meaning of the whole sentence. Okay, this is the only part that I cannot provide you many tips to do, because this part only tests you how to write the Chinese character. If you don't know how to write it, you can't answer this part. So there's no tips for this one. So let's take a look at here. 我已经吃饱了，不要米饭了. So this is the 米。78，我们家那儿秋天大多是晴天，很少下雨。How to write 的雨so 下雨。If you understand the meaning, you don't know how to write down the character. You won't get the score for this part. So for this part, or for the whole HSK3 test, learning Chinese character is very important. So I know it's a challenge, for a lot of students, because for HSK 1 and 2, they don't require you to read or write in Chinese characters. But starting from HSK 3, all of the test paper, they will just use Chinese characters. So it is very important while you're learning the new word in HSK3. At the same time, you need to remember the character while you are learning reading it. So reading and writing of new words should be studied together from HSK3, from right now. So you can't just separate it. Don't use pinyin. You just look at the character while you are learning the new word. There is a saying in Chinese, 万事开头难. That means the beginning of everything is difficult. Of course, it will be very difficult at the beginning if you study the Chinese characters. But after you grasp some Chinese characters, after you have learned some Chinese characters, you will find the characters will help you to remember the meaning of some unfamiliar words, will help you remember or recognize a new word. So it can be a helpful thing, not a difficult thing when you grasp the rules of Chinese character. When you start learning Chinese character, you will find that out. Let's take a look at these examples. So 不要米饭了. This is the 米 for rice character, but where is the character coming from? It's coming from the rice plant. So the rice plant looks like this character. So it looks like that. Those are the plants with a little rice here, the dots. Yeah. And next one, 鱼. You can see from the character, the 鱼 character originally rated like this. So this is the sky at the top, and then you have raindrops down. So that is a 鱼. So it can help you remember the meaning of a new word if you learn the character. It's also very fun to learn it. So yeah, start to learn characters from HSK3. All right, then here goes my suggestions for HSK3. Vocabulary is important. Pay attention to new words. Remember the new words in daily study. And also you need to be familiar with common sentence structures and common Chinese word order. And also you need to practice Chinese characters. I know some places they have the HSK test using a computer. So if you can use the computer to take the test, it's still important that you can read the Chinese character. Maybe you don't need to handwrite it, but you need to recognize the characters so you can type it with the pinyin. Okay, so that's the HSK3 writing part test. And we can take a few minutes to briefly introduce HSKK, the 口语 or speaking test part. For HSK3, while you are taking HSK3, you are required to take HSKK or HSK speaking test primary level. For HSK speaking primary level, they have 3 main sections, totally about 27 questions. The whole test is pretty short, it's 20 minutes just, including 7 minutes of preparation time. So 3 types of question. First one is listen and repeat. They will have 15 sentences, short sentences. They will read the sentence and then goes up a beep. And you need to repeat the sentence right after the beep. And then move on. They will speak the second sentence and another beep. You need to repeat it. So listen and repeat the sentence. Section 2 is listen and answer. They will have very short question like 你喜欢吃苹果吗? Beep. And then you need to answer 我不喜欢吃苹果. Then second sentence like another question and beep, and then you answer it for 10 question and answers, short questions and answers. And section 3 for section 1 and 2 is one right after another. And when you finish those 6 minutes, 4 minutes, altogether 10 minutes, they will give you 7 minutes to prepare section 3, answer the questions. They will have 2 questions listed on the test paper. So you read the question and you prepare the 2 questions in 7 minutes. And after 7 minutes, there is like a beep, and you need to answer the 2 questions within the 3 minutes. So 1.5 minutes for each question. You need to answer them. So the full test, speaking test, have 100 points, and to get a 60 or above, that means a passing mark. Also, speaking test score valid for 2 years, starting from the test date. Okay, so for a speaking test, because the time is limited, we don't have enough time to introduce each questions. I don't have time to give you examples. But previously, I've made another open class before, like I think it's last year, to introduce the HSKK, so the whole HSKK 口语考试 speaking test. So you can check our website. This is our website, www.eblcu.com/open-class, or you can go to the front page, eblcu.com, and you find the open class list. And then you find out there is an open class before to introduce HSKK, how to prepare HSKK or like HSK speaking test. From there, you can get more information about the 口语考试. All right, so then, next part, I will going to introduce our BLCU online HSK courses that we have. So this is a website for our HSK course, www.eblcu.com/HSK. And the course is designed according to HSK levels. And you have mainly like 2 choices. One is the standard course, which means Right now, I just passed HSK2. I'm preparing for HSK3. Then you can take the standard courses to study for the new words and grammar, new things of HSK3 requirements. And another thing is pre-test training. I mean, like next month, I'm going to take HSK3, or like this year, I'm planning to take HSK3. But I already finished studying for all of the new things of HSK3. I studied all the new words of HSK3, but I need to like a teacher to help me prepare for the test, get familiar with the test questions, tell me some skills of passing the HSK. Then you can choose those pre-test training course. We have HSK test training and HSKK, the speaking test pre-test training course. Okay, so I will introduce a little more about the standard course, which is the most common courses for our online learning. So it's a part-time learning course, which is 12 weeks course. You will have one class per week, and one class is about 1 hour, 50 minutes to 1 hour per class. And for one level or 12 weeks course, you can go through about half of HSK. If you are preparing for HSK3, you can see here, HSK3 equals to our level 4 and 5, which means 2 12 weeks course. So here goes the HSK 1 to 6, and we divided into from 1 to 14 levels. Each of our level is 12 weeks. For lower HSK, it's easier, so it takes shorter time to finish one HSK. For higher level, it's harder, so it's getting harder, and it takes longer time for one HSK. For HSK3, HSK4, it takes 2 of 12 weeks course to finish the whole HSK3 course or HSK4 course. And 5 or 6 is harder, so it takes longer. And each of the 12 weeks course, each of the level is like, here goes the price, 1,680 RMB, which means it's a group class, a small group class, not like today. Today is a free class, so it's a large group. For the real paid course is a small group, usually about 3, 4, 5 students in a group. You will have a lot of chance to speak to the teacher, and also teacher will ask you some questions, and you need to practice with your classmates in the group, and also learn from the Chinese teacher of our university. And also you have another choice, which is one-on-one with the same learning material as the group class. But for one-on-one, the time schedule is more flexible. So you can choose to have group class or one-on-one to study for HSK standard course. Okay, and here goes the how to study the course. Firstly, you need to register and pay the tuition fee from the website here, www.eblcu.com/HSK. And you need to contact me for a level test before we can start the course for you. And after the level test, you need to let me know what time do you usually available for the classes. And then we will put you on the waiting list. Wait for 1 to 4 weeks after registration. We will form up a group for you, and you can start your learning. And then the 12 weeks learning, you will have one live class per week. And before class, you need to study the learning materials that we provide you. And once a week, you have a live class. And then after class, you have 1 to 2 hours. You need to do homework and written practice and listening practice by yourself. And next week, repeat the same altogether for 12 weeks learning. And in the last week, there is a final test. If you pass the test, you can also apply for a certificate from our university to prove what course you had. So it's certificate of completion of the course. Okay. So here goes the options for our online Chinese courses. Except for HSK course, we also have business Chinese, Chinese for international trade, and also Chinese for kids too. So if you have other needs of learning Chinese language, you can also contact us too. So here goes some questions. A lot of students asking me registration deadline for all of our courses. We are rolling all throughout the year, so you can register at any time of the year. But for group class, you may need to wait for 1 to 2 weeks after registration until we can form up a group for you. And for one-on-one, you can starting within 1 week after registration. It's more flexible. Class time, we have teachers working from 8 to 9, 8 in the morning to 9 in the evening Beijing time, 7 days a week. So like different shifts of teacher, you need to let us know what time is usually good for you. And we will arrange you a teacher that according to your schedule. But for group class, we need to discuss a little within the group and find out the time that works for everybody in this group. And then we fix the class time and start the course. And the class in the 12 weeks will be at the same day, same time. Also, if you still have a question, not sure which course is suitable for me, you need some suggestion, you can also sign up a 20 minutes trial class and listen to our teacher's advice. So this is our website. You can just sign up here and then click free trial by the side of our website, and then give you some like time for choices to have the free trial class, and then schedule the time, and then you can talk to us and to get some advice about how to learn Chinese and which course I should choose. All right, and here goes the upcoming courses that we are going to have. For HSK3, we are going to start quite soon at the end of this month or early July, we'll start HSK3 group. So please register before this time so we can including you in that group. And but if this time is not working for you, you can still register after that time, but wait for another group. For HSK2, we also have another group waiting, starting soon in next month. So please register if you want to study for HSK2 before the end of this month. Okay, so once again, this is my WeChat ID and this is my email. This is our QR code for WeChat group. You can take a picture of this page, or you can just scan the QR code to add to join our WeChat group, and we will share the information in the WeChat group too. And then for next month, in July, we will have another free open class to introduce HSK4 preparation tips, and also for HSKK intermediate at that time. So you can scan this QR code on the screen to register for HSK4 course too. All right. Thanks for coming today, and 谢谢大家. And if you are going to take HSK3 test soon, I hope you can pass it. Wish you good luck in HSK3 test. 谢谢. Any questions? Any questions? Will there be HSK3 3.1 version next year? Right now, it's already the new version of HSK3. The HSK3 new version is just at HSK 7 to 9 on top of HSK 1 to 6. So if you are planning for HSK 1 to 6, it's the same as before. Just add the oral speaking part. So you need to do HSK and then the HSK speaking test together. But for HSK test itself, from HSK 1 to 6, it's the same as before. Okay, 谢谢. Any other questions? 老师会阿拉伯语吗？不会。谢谢大家. Thanks for coming today. And you can join the WeChat group if you have WeChat and leave a message there if you have further questions for learning Chinese. Thanks for coming tonight. Bye. 再见. You too. Have a great day. Bye. I will close.